All aboard! All aboard!
All aboard! Let's go!
Welcome to Mornings with Stephen Jardine. Thanks for your company this Friday, the 14th of March. Coming up on the phone-in, it's World Sleep Day. Do you struggle to get a good night's sleep? Call 08085 92 95 00 or text 80295. Also coming up between now and noon.
What is important is the ability to go into the forest and find fire from what nature provides.
Wildlife expert Ray Mears wants your help to save the small six. More on that later. And
if I just leave the potatoes, will they come on again? Is it okay?
Check one, check two. Everybody make way. Party people coming through. Throw your hands up. Put 'em up. Now hold steady.
Before then. So are you ready?
It's like this. I'm that guy, you're so fly. Gotta get a piece of that sweet potato pie. I'm that guy, you're so fly. I gotta get a piece of that sweet potato pie.
Now the way up to date with the homies is straight. Getting fucked up off the date. Chronic, wood, ever you wanna count it. And peace to your fucking alcoholics, folk. Making the proper remedy. Cause when I hit it, bitches envy me. Say you won't wine, yeah, I guess that's fine. But tie is the sky when you're talking about miles. Nah, my tie got a friend named Jim. Got me all straight, now my dick won't bend. Now I'm fucked for the rest of the night. Unless I find a piece of ass, whether it's loose or tight. And look at here, I done found a bitch. Yummy for the D jelly mix and a switch. Say that shit, cause I don't wanna be your man. Just need a little lucid, do you understand?
My mind's fucked up off time and time. With the headshot now, I'm so high. Now I need a mix that's proper and fly. So let me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. My mind's fucked up off time and time. With the headshot now, I'm so high. Now I need a mix that's proper and fly. So let me off a piece of that sweet potato pie.
Thinking about what I'm gonna do today. 40 and my homies about 8. I thought about going to the movies, but ain't nothing like a bunch of proper ass hoochies. Dressed like a player, can't wet nothing less. Some simple ass shit, even if it ain't gets. Drink a couple of shots, now I roll to the spot. Bitches straight peeping, wanna know what I got. Well, 1, 2, 3, here comes the D. Pass me the roller. And now I'm ready for you bitches, a gang of dick liquor. Do you get the picture? And so much love for your gals. And peace, love, and pussy to my motherfucking pals. And I'ma stay high and keep me a piece of that sweet potato pie.
I'm fucked up off chocolate time. With the headshot now, I'm so high. Now I need a mix that's proper and fly. So let me off a piece of that sweet potato pie. My mind's fucked up off chocolate time. With the headshot now, I'm so high. I need a mix that's proper and fly. So let me off a piece of that sweet potato pie.
The fellas wanna have a barbecue tonight. I think it's on about 5. They say it's gonna have plenty Daisy Dukes, and that says it's gonna be live. So I'm gonna grab me a player suit, cause ain't no damn thing changed. And now I'm proper and flying shit, but man do I feel strange. So I'ma go down to the liquor store and find my friend named Jim. And go to the guy with the flyest tie, break him off a proper twin. And now it's time to mix some shit and look for the proper mix. And run a little game on the BYT and tell it to us something like this.
My mind's fucked up all time and time. Get the headshot now, I'm so high. Now I need a mix that's proper and fly. So baby, off a piece of that sweet potato pie. My mind's fucked up all time and time. Get the headshot now, I'm so high. Now I need a mix that's proper and fly. So baby, off a piece of that sweet potato pie. My mind's fucked up all chocolate time.
We're at 11 minutes after 10 on a Friday morning. Africa is famous for its big 5 wildlife species. But have you heard about the small 6? That's the name given to half a dozen wildlife species currently under threat of extinction in the Caribbean. But they do have hope because wildlife broadcaster and bushcraft expert Ray Mears is on their side and he's on a mission to save them. And Ray joins us live from St. Lucia this morning to bring us a little bit, well, I was going to say a little bit of Caribbean sunshine. It's a bit early for that, Ray, isn't it?
I'm afraid the sun hasn't come up yet. It's very early in the morning, and I'm pretty tired. We were out in the jungle yesterday searching for little species and elusive birds, and so I'm a bit bleary-eyed, if the truth is known.
We'll get into that in a second, but actually it's World Sleep Day today, and we just spent an hour on the phone in talking about sleep. Do you find it easy to sleep? I mean, you used to sleep 200 nights a year outside, didn't you?
Yeah, I can. If I need to, I can more or less sleep anywhere, on train journeys, things like that. If there's a moment, just put your head down and go to sleep. Yeah, no problem.
What have you learned down the years about sleep? What can you share with us to help with that?
Well, if you are in a stressful situation and you need to rest, 20 minutes sleep is what regenerates you the most. So, a 20-minute nap can be really useful.
Okay, well, try and get one later today if you're a bit tired today. But you've got a lot on at the moment because you're on a mission to save the small 6. I didn't know anything about these creatures. Tell me what they are and why they're under threat, Ray.
Well, it's typical, isn't it? We always seem to concentrate on the big charismatic animals, but there are a lot of animals that need usually for the same sort of reasons, global warming, habitat loss, and also sometimes trafficking in the illegal wildlife trade as well. And I'm talking to you from St. Lucia in the Caribbean. And here they have 6 endemic species that they've highlighted that are of concern. They need help, and which they think can be supported by responsible tourism. And so the idea is that maybe people will come and search for these creatures with expert guides, of which they have amazing guides, to get to know them, to help them, and to bring money to the island, which also helps with conservation. And the species we're talking about is the St. Lucian parrot, the oriole, the St. Lucian finch, and then we've got some unusual things. For example, there's the pygmy gecko, which I haven't seen yet, a beautiful, charismatic lizard with a lovely blue tail, and a whip snake, which is a little bit more difficult to see.
And some of these are down to less than 100 animals left in the wild.
Yeah, some of them are, and less to 1,000 as well. And those are significant numbers. I mean, the key thing with conservation efforts is to start as soon as possible while you still have viable populations. If you leave those efforts too long, it can be too late. But they're doing a wonderful job here. So, I'm hopeful, and I think these things will be around for a long while to come. But that depends on people helping.
Why didn't we know about this? I mean, why are we so fixated, do you think, on the big 5, the lions, the leopards, elephants, buffaloes and rhinos, where populations are strong compared to these creatures, which we could so easily lose?
Well, I mean, they're charismatic, aren't they? I mean, lions, leopards, they're part of our folklore. So it's easy to see, to take an interest in these animals we can relate to. But when it comes to a parrot, like the St. Lucian parrot, until you actually spend time getting to know it, you really don't appreciate it. I spent yesterday searching for this in the rainforest in the center of the island. And it's really interesting. This is a bird that when you see it in flight, especially if you can get above it, it has these beautiful green wings with yellow on them and 2 pink, almost roundels on the wings. It's lovely. But when it's perched in a tree, those colors give it the most incredible camouflage, particularly when it goes under the leaves in the canopy. Makes it virtually impossible to see.
So the 6 on the list here, how many have you seen so far? How many have you bagged from the 6?
I've seen 3 of them so far.
Right. I think you should stay on St. Lucia until you see the other 3, Ray. That's a good...
I think we did really well to see what we did, actually. And it's quite a challenge. It's a great challenge for a naturalist. But it's all the other things, of course, you see along the way. And, I'm a key bird watcher, and rainforest bird watching is incredibly challenging because it's such a shadowy environment. And birds also perch low down, high up in a way that's a little different to at home. I had a lovely encounter yesterday with a lesser Antillean flycatcher, which was just lovely, dusky grey in the shadows. It'd be so easy to miss it.
Ray, you know so much about the outdoors, and this was all self-taught bushcraft back in the 1970s and on the North Downs that you explored as a child. Do you worry that children nowadays, we spend too much time with them on screens and they're not having that experience that you had?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I think, in a way, I do. I'm more worried about the young adults who seem to spend more time on their phones. Teenagers are definitely going out again, which is great. But I think being out in nature is not just really good for you, it makes you feel good, it's physiologically good for you, but it's very stimulating. And to have time away from a device, to actually listen to your internal voice, to listen to yourself, to get to know yourself, and to think deeply about things, that's something that devices don't encourage. Devices encourage us to mimic and copy what others are doing rather than to think originally. And we need a lot of original thought in the world today.
We've got a members' bill that seeks to give every school child in Scotland the chance to experience at least 4 nights and 5 days of residential outdoor education during their school career. It's going through the Scottish Parliament at the moment. Is that a good idea? Outdoor education, is that important?
A fantastic idea, and it's something that we need to bring back. There was a time when every council in the country had an outdoor centre where they could take young people and give them these experiences, chances to walk into new environments that they're completely unfamiliar with, and to do things that sometimes seem scary but of course aren't. And they grow internally, and it gives them confidence, teaches them teamwork and respect for others outside of the classroom, and I think that's tremendously important.
The big competition is that screen time thing, as you've said. You're not on social media, are you?
Don't do it. I can't stand it. To me, it's just time wasted, and it's addictive, isn't it? It sucks you in, and the most precious thing in life of all is life itself. Well, so why would you give it up willingly to social media companies?
So I don't know if you've seen this story because you've been busy in the bush, but there's been a story which was in the headlines last night on the BBC News about a US social media influencer in Australia who'd lifted up a baby wombat, taken it away from its mother so that she could film it for clicks on social media. She's been roundly condemned by the Australian government, who wanted to throw her out the country. She's actually left of her own accord. What do you think about stunts like that?
It just shows how ignorant people are. I mean, there's a huge degree of ignorance about nature. I've even seen documentaries where somebody's picked up on a boat journey a reptile and tried to do the Steve Irwin bit without his knowledge and skill, and then half a mile down the river has released it again. And these sorts of behaviours are catastrophic. And people should be respectful of nature. Imagine if that happened to her.
You see a lot of videos on social media of people interacting or trying to interact with nature these days. Your advice would be leave it alone. That's their world. We've got plenty going on in our world.
So, yeah, when I work with nature, I always try to treat the animals with the respect that I would want to be accorded if the role was reversed. So I don't prod things, I don't pick them up, I don't rile them and try to get a reaction from them. If I can connect with an animal, I'll talk gently to it, and very often that works, so that they become curious and they're interested. But animals are intelligent. They're not stupid. And the moment you actually start to pay attention, you realise that. And the way I see it is that's another life form, and we share our lifetimes together. So why wouldn't you show them respect?
Brave, where do you still want to go? Just looking at your CV, I mean, you've done it all, really, around the world. The Caribbean, this is quite new territory for you, but you've travelled to the Himalayas, you've done China, you've done Australia, you've done South America. Where do you still want to go and experience wildlife?
Stephen, it's a big planet. I mean, there's still so much to see, and the job of all of us is to fill our life with experiences. I'm very interested in Arabia. I haven't seen enough of Arabia, but the Caribbean is really interesting. I love tropical fruit, and I was talking to a guide yesterday about what tropical fruit they have on St. Lucia. This is the kingdom of tropical fruit. Let me tell you, everything's here. I can't believe it. So I'm going in search of some of that later too.
Right, you got breakfast coming up soon. What's for breakfast today?
Well, they do really nice bananas here, and I'm a banana fan, so that'll be high on the list.
Ray, absolute pleasure to have you with us this morning. Ray Mears, thank you very much indeed for your time. Right now, we're at 10:21 on a Friday morning. This is BBC Radio Scotland.
You're warm under the duvet, you're listening in the shower. You're running late again, you must be there in half an hour. You might be going to work, it may be school or college. So drink your tea and eat your toast and don't forget the porridge. The Chris Moyle Show. Scotland.
To Mornings with Stephen Jardine. Still to come with me today. Children who eat fish are better behaved and, well, just nicer, according to scientists. So how do you get that past young, picky eaters? And
If I just leave the potato.
And dads and kids, what time is it?
Mornings on BBC Radio Scotland.
I call you every day in your house and service say it's say you're not at home, so I call you at work and you say you can't talk, 'cause you got to make money, 'cause you need to pay your bills. What kind of relationship do we have? You're like mom's apple pie. You're sweet, sweet, sweet. You're like mom's apple pie. So sweet, sweet, sweet. Well, you go to work from 9 till 5, and I know you're so tired, working 9 till 5. You're like mom's apple pie. You're sweet, sweet, sweet. You're like mom's apple pie. You're sweet, sweet, sweet. When I see you in the street, you just pass me by. You won't even speak. What kind of relationship do we have? I call you every day in your house and service say it's say you're not at home, so I call you at work and you say you can't talk, 'cause you got to make money so you can pay your bills. What kind of relationship do we have? You're like mom's apple pie. You're sweet, sweet, sweet. So sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh girl, you so sweet. So sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh honey, you so sweet. So
play that for Ken, who's leaving the radio today after 44 years with us here at BBC Radio Scotland. Great shift. Thank you, Ken. Good luck to you. Right now, we're at 10:26 on a Friday morning. Let's open the doors for our gardening surgery. Nicola Singleton, our expert, here with us every Friday to answer all your gardening questions. She's live in the potting shed. Morning, Nicola.
Morning, Stephen. The doors are definitely open for the sunshine this morning. Yes, it's gorgeous.
Heating up out there. Now, listen, we're asking for happy songs this morning. We're going to play one chosen by someone in 60 minutes' time. On the text this morning, Morag in Dunoon, John Denver, Sunshine on My Shoulders. That makes me happy. Eddie on sunny Isle of Mull says, Black Eyed Peas, I Got a Feeling, a perfect feel-good Friday tune. Thanks for that, Eddie. Nicola, your happy tune. What is your happy place
so
tune?
many to choose. Go for Bare Necessities, because everybody knows the words, and it can't. I mean, even when I say it, it makes you smile, doesn't
All right,
it?
go on, sing along. Feel free.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Hey, 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 hey! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
Best ones you want to do if you're thinking about doing some veg, try and get your peppers on the go. So chilies and sweet peppers, they need a long growing season and they need warmth and sunshine. So they're one of the ones that you really need to start now. Because you want to get them germinated. The same with tomatoes. You've got a longer period of sowing tomatoes because they'll come up really quickly, a bit like cress, sometimes tomatoes. But they both need similar conditions. So first of all, when you choose your chilies, check the packet and decide how much heat you want, because it will tell you on the packet the level of heat, how many chilies it's going to be. On the Scoville scale, we don't want to go too crazy, or you might want to go a bit crazy. So check that out when you're choosing your varieties. And honestly, tomatoes, I don't know where to start because there are so many varieties. Hundreds and hundreds are available. We're going to try some gunmetal grey this year and some purple ones. I don't know. I'm just not sure.
Why? What's wrong with the red ones?
Well, just for something a bit different.
Oh, okay.
I think we'll just and see what they taste like. So we'll grow some red ones as well.
Okay.
But try these coloured ones and just see what happens.
Variety is the spice of life, Nicola.
Oh, absolutely. Always. Yeah. There's so many available though, Stephen, you would not believe. I mean, some tomatoes, they breed them in places like Canada and Siberia. So when they come to Scotland, actually, they think, oh, it's actually quite tropical here. So there's varieties that will maybe produce you fruits in, about 4 months, really early bush tomatoes. So if you worry about your growing season, you should try some of these early ones.
The little cherry ones, are they easier to grow than the big ones?
Probably slightly easier because sometimes you get an earlier crop and you get a quicker crop. And obviously because they're smaller, what you find is often they'll ripen a bit quicker and you'll maybe get a truss that's got, maybe sort of 10 little cherry tomatoes on it, as opposed to like the bigger ones, they take a lot longer to grow and to ripen. So yeah, if you're a beginner, cherry tomatoes are always a good bet because you'll get something a bit quicker, a bit more easily. So it's definitely one to recommend.
Okay, so Nicola's back with me after 11.